Well, 5 games down in the afternoon session of the HappyBet German Darts Championship. 3 more to go before we have a little break before the evening session. And this is a tournament, perhaps the only sporting tournament in the world, where you will hear Metallica back-to-back with Neil Diamond, followed closely by Zorba the Greek. It is like listening to the iPod of a madman here in Hildesheim. And that madman is sat alongside me, Chris Murphy, joining Dan Dawson in the commentary box for this one.
Yeah, I can't believe they've used my iPod without my permission. John Michael seemed to enjoy it. And so did this German crowd here in Hildesheim, and it's been a decent start to this year's European Tour, not least the performance earlier on of Paul Harvey, who defeated Ryan Meikle in an exciting encounter, 6-4 win for Harvey, the first ton-topping average of this year's European Tour and the German Darts Championship. Won't be the last.
Certainly won't be. Both of these guys quite capable of producing an average like that. Mick McGowan had a great run at exactly the right time last year in September on the Pro Tour. You and I saw him go on that run in Barnsley.
Throw first. Game on.
Get in the corner, scoreboard. Yes, do my bidding. As Mick McGowan, yeah, he made his semi-final in Barnsley, came just at the right time. That got him in the Grand Prix, nicked that Irish qualifying
100.
spot off Mickey Mansell, which he immediately lost, but it didn't matter because he was already in the Grand Prix. It was a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. This is wonderful stuff from John Michael to get us going.
121.
But yeah, the Irish qualifying spot, another one of the rule tweaks that we'll be discussing. That's gone now from the World Grand Prix.
60.
The Irish players don't need any help anymore, do they? Look at Northern Ireland's Darryl Gurney, yeah, Brendan Dolan making a comeback of sorts as well.
Yeah, it looks encouraging stuff from Brendan.
30.
Not quite where he was, but looks to be heading that way.
And Mick McGowan will kind of enjoy his second coming as well.
Well, Mick McGowan quit,
96.
essentially. He had some injury problems, and then he wasn't going to come back to PDC Darts. He only sort of came back to keep a mate company who was going down to a darts event.
100.
And he said, I'll come along with you then. He ended up winning the whole thing. And he thought, hang on. Within 2 or 3 years, he's won 2 Irish match plays, and he's storming up the rankings.
131.
Yeah, these European Tour events are becoming increasingly significant in qualifying for TV events. I mean, they do qualify for
60. Mick McGowan 140.
the European Championship based on this ranking alone. But Mick McGowan only managed to make one of them last year. This year, so far, 100% record.
74.
Early days.
But yeah, I mean, you'd be a brave man to say he won't at least double that tally this year.
Well, he's certainly got the ability to do so. But John Michael, I mean, we've seen him on the European Tour a number of times. He made 3 last year, made the second round in Risa, as McGowan takes out double top to hold his throw in the first leg.
Second leg jump to
what you've got to remember is John Michael, all right, he's the best dart player that Greece has ever produced. He's a 13-time Greek national champion.
85.
He's the Phil Taylor of Greece.
Record-breaking, history-making.
Yeah.
Body shaking.
13-time champion of Greece. John the Deadly
80.
Rose Michael. But he has to come through the European qualifiers, and they're tough. They are tough.
58.
You've got a limited number of spots available. You've got all sorts of top Dutch players in there. The Belgians are in there.
100.
And yet John Michael is a regular qualifier for these. And I think that's testament to how well he can play. I mean, he came very, very close to knocking Alan Norris out of the World Championship at Christmas. He was 2-0 up and lost it 3-2.
41.
Yeah. He sort of turned into a little Greek ball of sweat by the end of it. It was dripping off him.
Yeah, that was one of the most captivating games of that first round at Halle.
35.
There was 2 qualifying events last night, and John Michael qualified for both. So that just makes your point, Dan. Another guy with a 100% record this year, but he's had two European Tour events to qualify for, and he's achieved that target. And as we said, these are going to play a major part this year. There's 12 of these events this year.
54.
And it remains to be seen how many of the very elite players turn up to all or some of them. I think we can expect Peter Wright,
140.
Simon Whitlock. They'll turn up to all of them. Kim Hybrex if he stays in the seeded player. 132 is not going to go for Mick McGowan.
But it also gives you a chance, if some of those players aren't there,
80.
you might just get that little draw where you don't meet any of the big boys.
Still going to be tough, but it's doable. Oh, needed the treble 20 for tops, and Mick McGowan for a 2-0 lead now. 12 for tops, or 20 for double 16. It's the latter. Is that a decent guide? Didn't even use it. Didn't even need to. 2-0. And the Magnet has the upper hand against the Deadly Rose right now.
Yeah, McGowan pipped Darren Webster to qualification for this tournament. 6-5 victory in the qualifying event
85.
Before the last set of Players' Championship tournaments in Barnsley. He'd beaten Mark Barilli before that. Again, just
45.
the good players that don't qualify. A couple of Websters, Mark and Darren, Raymond van Barneveld, who was knocked out by John Bowles in qualifying. So many names who've tried to be here that couldn't make it. You know, that the £1,000 that they get for being in this first round is hard earned.
Yeah, it really is. Really is.
60.
And this is kind of new for Mick McGowan. We have seen him on the Euro Tour before, but only the once. That was in Sindelfingen last year. And he came through the first round against Ronnie Hybrex before he ended up losing to Mensah.
135.
And that was when, I mean, Mensah was on fire.
It kind of feels like the start of a new season, doesn't it? It's the first European Tour event. There has been a lot of darts played already this year, but hang on a minute. But you just kind of... We know what Mensah Suljovic, for example, did last year, but now the question is, can he
back it
mirror
up?
That? We haven't seen much of him. Family reasons in 2017, but
42.
Mensah was,
52.
Said earlier, missed the European Tour last year. And McGowan.
Game shot in the third leg. Mick McGowan.
Lands double 16 again.
Full flag John to throw.
One thing I will say about the European Tour,
the
qualification criteria was vindicated last year because the semi-finals of the European Championship actually contained the top 4 seeds, and the final contained the top 2 seeds.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Michael van Gerwen and Mensah Suljovic.
And yeah, it's a strange one when you get these tournaments that are based and seeded solely on one series of tournaments, the Players' Championship finals, for example. That's always thrown up strange seedings. You end up seeing Phil Taylor at 14 or whatever, and that was always weird in years gone by because he seemed to be winning everything. He was winning everything pretty much, but he didn't play all the tournaments. But the European Championship, it was vindicated. The best 4 players over the course of the season ended up in the semis, and the best 2 ended up in the final.
59.
Admittedly, Mensah in his first major final just didn't live up to the levels of performance that he produced over the course of that season, but I think that can be excused and may even be expected.
First, you must know how to lose before you find out how to win. Great philosopher
59.
Michael van Gerwen said that. I think he knows what he's talking about.
He does, because he's done plenty of winning.
64.
Perhaps new fans to the wonderful game of darts may not be aware of how much losing Michael van Gerwen did a few years back, because he was a lot. And that's a lot of points for Mick McGowan, who is really putting John Michael under pressure here. Record-breaking, history-making Greek darts legend
59.
you may be.
Victory record 157.
But the Magnet has got your number right now.
$97. John, you recall
That's a good setup.
58.
Michael's going to have to produce something like this to get a leg on the board, and it's not going to happen this visit.
94. Make you recall 60.
So for 4 zip, 20 tops. High. Moves across. High. Very high.
20.
And that one's
Junior
slightly
record
too high, so a
64.
chance for Michael to get a leg on the board.
He may only get 1 dart at double here, John Michael. It is only going to be 1 dart, 16 or 8. It's 16 for double thereof.
48.
And he didn't use that second dart. He didn't give himself a guide. A lot of players will go near the double to try and use it. Can McGowan make this 4-0? Crucial part of this game, you feel. He's getting nowhere near tops.
20.
Absolutely nowhere near it.
16.
Well, he'd been deadly on double 16, but trouble on tops. And Michael. Pins double 2 last start, hallelujah.
To flag Mick to throw it first. Game on.
A massive let-off there. If John Michael does go on and win this game,
82.
That little bit of play with Mick McGowan missing 5 darts at double top for a 4-0 lead, including a second breaker throw.
60.
That has to be considered a major turning point. McGowan still with the advantage, though. The winner of this one takes on Jelle Klaassen, and you have to say, with the way that Jelle is struggling with his wrist at the minute, of all the seeded players you could be drawn against, he's probably one of the ones that you'd have a look at and think,
100.
I've got a chance.
Yeah, not just the wrist injury, obviously, which played a part in his elimination from the Premier League, but just the confidence we've seen it beat very, very good players. They've gone off the radar for up to a year, sometimes even beyond. The Premier League can be a cruel place, and the elimination is brutal, and you've got to wonder what kind
60.
of mindset the likes of Klaassen and Huybrechts come here with.
True, although it should be said that if you go back last year, Dave Chisnell, for the entire duration of his time in the Premier League, when he was getting beaten regularly, he was really struggling. He was failing to qualify for these Euro Tour events, doing nothing on the Pro Tour.
140.
Then he was eliminated, and it was like a weight off his shoulders. He started playing superb. He had back-to-back Euro Tour finals. It was the old Chizzy.
I guess it depends what kind of
54. John, you require
player you are in terms of approach to the game. Are you a thinker, or are you a guy who can just...
Or are you a Chizzy? Is that what you're saying? Are you a thinker, or are you a Chizzy?
Can you just put it behind you and you know...
85.
The game of darts is all about forgetting about the last shot, isn't it? It's got no bearing on what's about to happen.
That's what they say. Bullseye for tops.
Why
not? Why not?
Well, John, you call 56.
He's trying to make sure that shot had a bearing on what's about to happen.
And maybe it has. Maybe it has.
36.
A little bit of noise.
Mick, you require 30.
Like it.
Got to finish it off, though. And does finish it off. And he's been pretty good. Apart from that last leg where he messed around on double top, Mick McGowan's been very good at missing outside, not letting that affect him. Just move over, find a different bit of the bed and pinning it. Done it twice on double 16. Does it with double 15 there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of swagger as he approached the board to retrieve the dart as well from Mick McGowan.
81.
The showman.
$96.
Well, it has been a largely one-sided afternoon, this session. We've had 6-2, 6-4, that's as close as the game's got, then 6-1, 6-2 and 6-2. And right now, Mick McGowan looks pretty much in charge of this one. It could be another convincing victory. Not seen anything go to a deciding leg.
97.
Well, after this, we've got an interesting encounter
29.
between Brazil's Diogo Portela and the home nation lad Martin Schindler.
Yeah, Martin Schindler, I'm very impressed with the
100.
strides the little German is making in professional darts, having won his tour card at the start of the year. But Diogo Portela, the first Brazilian to play on the European Tour, first Brazilian to play on the PDC Pro Tour.
41.
And Rob Malarkey is going to bring a heartwarming story to commentary regarding Diogo. But yeah, he was gutted to miss out on the UK Open finals. He's going to get his big shot on the big stage today.
Yeah, so Rob Malarkey's heartwarming stories on the way
100.
later. Be like Tom Hardy reading those bedtime stories, except with some bloke who commentates on tennis. 16 for ball. Oh, hang on.
43.
Fair enough.
Well, you require 151.
What's he up to? He's up to these tactics again, McGowan. Went for the 180 to leave double 15 last time. This time says I don't fancy you to take out the 151.
57.
And was correct.
You require 40. Game shot and a sick flag.
And then,
Mick
importantly, takes out the double when he returns to the
Sick flag,
board. So Mick
to
McGowan,
Rover.
everything he's trying is coming
Game
off
on.
at the moment. And all John Michael can do is laugh and shake his head.
Well, does he see it as disrespect, the Deadly Rose? Do you not know who I am? Do you not know what I've won?
Oh,
I don't care.
times,
man.
180. Doesn't care who he's playing. Now, is he going to show us a bit of that 13-time Greek national champ stuff?
140.
Well, Mick McGowan has largely just done what he wants in this game, and it's been enough. But that is the worst visit of the match. 180-13.
Yeah, that's what he didn't want.
Now it's Mick McGowan's turn to have a little smile to himself.
100.
It's what Yanis Mikhail wanted to see. And he put himself in a position now to break. No treble here.
57.
Gives John Michael the advantage in this leg. Yes, he's 10 points behind, but now he's not.
123.
John Michael, with those very fine points on his darts, just makes it wobble around like a cartoon arrow when it hits the board, although they're not as pronounced as previous. I don't know if he's using new darts or if they're slightly
85.
shorter points, I don't
John
know, but they
Michael,
seem very buried in the board. They
138.
don't wobble about as much as ones I've seen him throw previously.
Well, this is on. Not anymore.
106.
Went the Della route. It didn't work out. He will return though, looking at double 16 for a break.
125.
keep-
John, you require 32.
Himself in this match.
Game shot.
what he
and a
does.
7 flag. John Michael. A flag. John to throw first. Game on.
Well, who knows, maybe John Michael did feel it was a bit disrespectful for Mick McGowan to decline the bullseye in the previous leg. He's responded with a
41.
13 darter of his own, and sometimes it can just take something like that to spur a player into action.
Yeah, Kaz has
85.
shown signs in some of his previous TV appearances that he can get involved in a bit of aggression up there, hasn't he, John Michael?
He's not shy, is he?
60.
Anybody who dances around as Zorba the Greek in front of several thousand people, as he has done many times, isn't the retiring type.
100.
Well, he's not waving the white flag just yet. In fact, quite the opposite.
140.
Maximum gets him to a finish here, McGowan. Loads of room.
140.
You see, he's just a little bit frustrated because you don't get many better opportunities for a 180, and when you've got those visits where you need a maximum to get to a
100.
finish, they're the ones that really hurt, especially against the throw. Michael is down to a finish. McGowan is going to get to one. How good is it going to be? Could leave himself double 18 here.
100.
And he leaves 76. Now, John Michael, this would be some shot.
160.
And it's not going to happen. And Mick McGowan's got 76 for a
57.
6-2 win.
You require 76.
Well, Michael's not been a match for McGowan so far in this game. Now can he finally slam the door shut?
56.
Not yet.
John, you require 103.
He'll hope to return.
Treble 17. And he will return, Mick McGowan.
87.
And he's left
You
double 10. He had all those
require
problems on double top earlier in the match. So double 10. Similar problems, double 5. There it is, 6-2, and the
Mick McGowan.
man from Dublin is safely through to face Jelle Klaassen in a second round. John Michael, the Deadly Rose, bows out of the tournament. That's the Greek representation over at the HappyBet German Darts Championship. How about the Brazilian player, Diogo Portela, in his Euro Tour debut against Martin Schindler, the host nation qualifier, who's playing some very, very good darts of his own at the moment.
Der Mick McGowan zieht die zweite Runde ein. Und John Michael schüttelt den Kopf, er ist nicht zufrieden mit seinem Spiel. Mick, congratulations. At the end, little double trouble, even though the whole game was a good match.
Yeah, look, I certainly didn't play my best. I know John didn't either, but you know, doubles got me out of trouble there. It was one of those sort of games. I think maybe the two was watching each other, but you know, I'll take it.
I think last time you played European Tour, we already talked about that. A couple of years ago, you were very, very strong, and then you were gone. What's the situation now? Where are you standing right now?
Situation's good now. Thank God, touch wood, good health back, and you know, feeling you know good for the game again. Enjoying it. That's what matters.
Kim Hybrids is waiting. Good chance to show that to show that you're enjoying the whole thing.
Of course, Kim's a world-class player. You know what I mean? He's a Premier League man, and you know I'm going to be on much better than I was there today. And that's no disrespect to John at all. But you know, I'm looking forward again. Kim's a class player, and I'll have to up the game tomorrow, and I will.
We're looking forward to that too. Thank you very much, Mick McGowan.